We are almost there to fund it, guys. We're trying our absolute best to keep it very minimal in trades and also show you guys how it is.
Thinking about probably taking one stab at some longs here for this nice bounce.
Focus on the freaking loss more than the win, guys.
Day 10 of turning an evaluation account into a funded account using topstepx as my futures trading firm. Guys, check it out. We took 2 trades today. I know it says 3, but we're gonna break it down and show you guys those trades that we took, because 2 of them we just entered twice for 2 contracts, and then the last one was just very simple single contract trade. But as you guys can see, guys, we recovered the first 2 days of losses, being Monday and Tuesday. On Wednesday, we recovered in one single day 2 losses, as well as even 2 losses in one single day. The next day, which is today, guys, we did take some trades in Asia session. So we're gonna show you guys those trades. I entered 2 contracts, one at one time, another one another time, just like a few hours apart. Then I entered a gold contract as well, guys. So we're gonna show you guys those trades, and guys, we are almost there to fund it. Honestly, if I could just make another, which I'm not gonna push it because that's a bad mindset to have, but just another $200 to be at 2K, then from there, all it would need is $1,000, guys. So we still have today and tomorrow to trade, and then even all of next week and a whole nother week to make $1,000 to get funded here this month. But I also do want to show you guys my trades, as well as I want to show you guys how simple you guys can find trade setups just the way I do as well. So first, we're going to go into the first trade that I took, which was on MNQ. And guys, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit upset with myself today. Performance was at a C, not an A, not a B, a C. I almost want to give myself a negative C today, actually, as well, due to the fact that, as you guys remember, if you didn't watch the vlog yesterday, I swung a short here last night, and you guys can see the drop difference, or just how far the entry from the exit is compared to this trade that I took here, how far the entry is from the exit. So I do want to break that down, and also even show you guys how I entered this trade, why I entered this trade, and all the good stuff, so that you guys can get all the juice, all the sauce from this video and understand how to trade as well. Because I keep it really simple. I'm not out here trying to look for all these crazy ass terms, all these crazy ass names. I just keep it very simple, guys. And as well as I read candlesticks. So very simply, not only did we catch the short down, and it could have, would have, and should have been better. Either way, very nice day yesterday. But we also try to capture the reversal back up. And I'm not gonna say, oh, I knew it was gonna bounce. I'm not gonna say, man, I expected it to bounce. Because we all don't know. We don't know. All we can plan for is worst case scenario. If this trade goes south on me, how much am I willing to lose? In this case, the reason why I took this very simple bounce back to the upside is because not only did we sell off majorly hard, but also on the 4-hour time frame, guys, this is a bullish engulfing, indicating that buyers are stepping in, and there's a chance for a major reversal here. Hence, bullish engulfing. So you can see my entries here. I entered 2 contracts, and then now, again, you don't just go off just one time frame. You got to go down to the lower time frame, see what you can spot. And in this case, guys, let's read some candlesticks here. So of course, this is that trade that I took downwards for even another bearish engulfing to the downside. You can see the bearish engulfing completely engulfs the bullish candle, sells off all the way down to the downside, and look at even another break and retest down to the downside. My favorite kind of sauce. But for today's trades or last night's trades, whatever, the reason why I give myself a C- is because my performance. A little bit of emotion did hinder my performance, and I'll show you guys that again, to be very transparent, to show you guys how you guys can learn from pretty much my own mistakes. There is still some lessons that I do have to take, and there's still some L's. There's still some mistakes that I do take that was there even in first year, 2 years of trading, that you do have to just correct. One being the fear of losing. So first, before we get into that, let's just break down. You guys saw the 4-hour time frame had a bullish engulfing. That's the reason why, one reason why for a potential reversal. The higher the time frame, the stronger the move. 4-hour move means the next candle should theoretically be a massive 4-hour candle push. So then I go into 1-hour time frame, spot a potential entry as well, and I'm even reading candlesticks here again. Nice bulls stepping in, small little sell-off candle, major bull step in. Yeah, sellers do try to step in for the last hour of, last night's session, and then boom, Asia session hops on. This is where I start trading. You can literally see the candlesticks, guys, hold the support here. I mean, the first 2 hours of market being open during Asia session last night, you can see it's just holding. Not only that, again, I know people don't really like to use candlestick patterns, although we literally are reading candlesticks. Whether you trade a fair value gap, you're literally reading a motherfucking candlestick. Boo-hoo, get wrecked, don't care, losers. So again, very simply, candlestick sells off here, creates a little bit of a cup. Also, the 4-hour time frame had a bullish engulfing, so massive, just reading technical analysis. Forms a cup here, even starts to form what looks like potentially could be a cup and handle. I'm gonna pop up a picture here, and if you decide to leave because I mentioned a cup and handle, that's probably why you're a loser. So not only did we enter here on this candle, but we're also gonna go on the 15-minute time frame to show you guys something pretty interesting because we almost got stopped out. But boom, we enter here on these candles here. I see some nice gains. I'm up almost $100. It hits my first price target. I get alerted from my Thinkorswim app telling me that, hey, you hit $100 mark, 3 digits. Not that I want to sell it, but it's just start to manage the trade, maybe potentially put in a break even, who knows. But I decided just to hold it. And you know what? Even enter one more because market decided to pull back a little bit here on this candle, which was on this candle here. And we're going to go down to lower time frame to show you guys. So boom, we enter a second contract. Then I get to major drawdown, guys. I'm talking about major drawdown. I get to almost tap and stop. As you guys can see, the candlestick wick here. And we're gonna go down to lower time frame to show you guys to the T what that looks like. It was crazy. But that's why I want to show you guys why just sticking to your trade plan, sticking to your stop is far more important than anything. So just reading candlesticks, you can see a nice cup and handle here, a strong bullish hammer type candle here, but then ultimately just sellers just completely step in for the next 5 hours, guys. And I kept updating in Discord, letting them know this trade plan. I even mentioned that I'm in this trade. I told them that I'm gonna take this trade with a $100 stop loss. But I entered 2, so guess what that means? That means you just double the risk, being a $200 stop. And you can see for the next few hours, from this candle to this candle to this, and then finally a sell-off here at the very tippity top, which we're gonna show you guys why I exited and also tell you guys the mindset here in a moment. But now let's go down to the 15-minute time frame and show you guys how close we almost got stopped out and how the price action was just moving, guys. So again, had I never had a stop loss in mind, had I not even thought about a loss, had I not even had one in mind, guys, I probably would have exited either early. If this trade would have went more in drawdown, I probably would have let it go more worse than a $200 stop loss, but I had a $200 stop loss set already. So that means $200 stop loss would have been right here at this exact level, guys, meaning that price would need to climb down to here to exit my trade. As you guys can see, price never did, but it got very close. My first entry being here, then you can see some drawdowns. Then I go to profits. That's where I'll tell you guys I'm up 100. Then it pulls back here. This is where I expect for it to at least, yeah, maybe a little bit of a pullback. Maybe it's just retest this general area. But guys, look at this. So I re-entered, or I entered another one. Look at this drawdown. I was about 150, 160, 170-ish in drawdown before I started to pull back up again. Then again, some more drawdown, guys. Again, so much drawdown I was in. But if you just stick to your stop loss, stick to your trade plan, not even worry about none of that. None of that will even bother you one bit at all, because it didn't at all. I kept updating Discord. So the moment that I started going profits and I started to see about a good game, and also even it being the very tippity top of this most previous high here, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna exit it. I was in major drawdown for such a long time. We're gonna secure it. Worst thing to do. The reason why I say worst thing to do, because had I just, which is the next lesson, stick to just my freaking price target, man, I would be in major gains. But I always say, and I will always stick to this, is again, you never know if you're gonna win. You always know how much you're willing to risk, how much you're going to lose. And so in this case, I only knew exactly how much I was going to risk. I'm not going to play the coulda, woulda, shoulda game. Last night, I decided to swing a trade knowing how much risk I was willing to take. In this case, it could have been the same thing. I could have just swung the trade with the same risk and not even have to think about it. But the type of drawdown I was experiencing for so long, decided just to exit. Again, it is a lesson I will have to learn myself that I will take it to tomorrow or today, because again, guys, look how much freaking gains I had missed out on. So that was the first trade there from the Asia session. Then I also spotted a nice breakout, and I also just, not only that, wanted to show you guys how many times gold keeps bouncing at this level and how many times I freaking traded, and also how you guys can trade it too. So here we are again, almost the same exact story as yesterday and the day before that on gold, where, hey, gold is literally retesting its most previous all-time high level, which is this general area here. And guys, again, read the candlesticks. What are the candlesticks telling you? Every single time we hit this general area, price, buyers step on in. How do I know buyers stepping on it? Well, literally the candlesticks are telling you. Long wicks sit downside. They're holding this general area of support. It's no longer creating lower lows. It's literally just holding. It's holding. Actually, matter of fact, you could almost probably even argue it's creating small bits of higher lows, and now it's even squeezing here, and then boom, get the breakout. So guys, we entered for a quick scalp, and that is how we're up 176 on the day. So this is a long video to explain how I'm up only 176 on the day times 2. So call it like almost 400. But I also wanted to show you guys again, guys, look at how many times gold bounces at this support here. How many times it bounces? 1, 2, almost 3, not to the T. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times gold has bounced here, guys, and we had traded it at least 3 times. And I can show you guys that here. So I'm not sure why my lines not why my lines are not here, but if you guys remember, I took a loss. So I took a 1. So sorry, getting ahead of myself. I took a bounce trade here, sold at the very tippity top of this trend line. Then I tried to re-enter again for an entry, for a retest of this break and retest of the trend line, but ultimately got stopped out and then re-entered again at my stop due to the fact that it was bouncing on the 5 minutes. Ended up getting stopped again, guys. So 2 trade setups I took in a single day, and there is no coulda, woulda, shoulda. But literally, guys, if you look at how many times it bounces, had I not played the trend line break or retest, had I just actually waited for another bounce at the most previous all-time highs, very simply, another bounce. Then again, another bounce. Then again, another bounce. But we took this bounce here. This is another trend line break. We already explained that yesterday. And again, guys, basically it's doing the same thing. How many times do I gotta tell you guys, literally, if you just stick to your motherfucking trade setup, trade plan, nothing else, don't trade anything else out of what you like, bro, it happens all the time. It's almost like the same shit is going on all week. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, guys, this is a great ass video just to show you guys how simple I keep trading. How simple I keep it. I'm not overcomplicating it. I'm not out here showing you guys, you gotta wait for this divergence to hit this, wait for this to hit that, do this and that, and loop through that. No. Very simply, very simple bounces at this general area. You guys like how I use that word, general area now? I don't even be like, this resistance zone, this resistance level, this Fibonacci retracement. I just say this general area. Because we can all see it generally bounces at this general area. It's not specific, it's not a specific term, general area. That is how simple I keep it. KISS, keep it super simple, or in other words, keep it stupid simple. But I understand how people try to overcomplicate it, the education behind it, and say, this is that and that and this, SMT divergence, this, confluence divergence, that. Same thing, guys. Same terms that ICT uses is the same terms that very simply option traders use as well, or just in general, traders in general. You guys have no idea how many times it is no point of just arguing about terms. At this point, it all effing works. You got to find out what works best for you and just use it. For an example, not everybody can stomach a trend line pullback, and I'm also even seeing that, and I hate it. I like trading trend lines, but even me, I understand that sometimes a trend line will do this. It'll pull back majorly hard before it actually rockets. Whereas sometimes it will just rocket, you know what I'm saying? So maybe if you can't handle that, don't trade trend lines. Stay away from them. If you notice you can't capture a bounce or solid bounce, every time you try to capture a bounce, it breaks through. Well, guess what? Maybe you should not capture bounce. Maybe you should find something else that fits you. That's how simple I'm gonna keep trading. A lot of people try to overcomplicate it, call it this. And again, same thing. When people use the RSI, the relative strength index. When people used to use RSI, the relative strength index, there is a way to use it. If the RSI is showing lower highs, but the stock itself is showing higher highs, then there is a divergence there. Some people can call it, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't need to overcomplicate it, man. Here we are trading, so we'll see how much money we can make today if we do even trade anything else here at the moment. It is bouncing here a tad bit. I'm thinking about probably taking one stab at some longs here for this nice bounce. We might. You can see it's pulling back majorly hard here, and I'm just thinking about slapping on this bounce, this support here. So thinking about it, looking good. We'll see. Guys, we just took it, but guess what? Not on MNQ, which I purposely did that. I took it on MES. The reason why is because the S&P 500 itself actually looks pretty strong, and I did set a $75 stop loss. Now let's talk about that stop loss here. Reason why is because worst case scenario, you guys see I'm already up at least 175. If I lose here, then I'll just be up $100. That's worst case scenario. Worst case scenario, I'm up $100. Boo hoo, right? Boo hoo. Worst case, I'm up $100. Or Best case scenario, this trade goes in favor and I make even more money. I turn this $175 day into potentially $300, $400 day. You know what I'm saying? Which is why I always say focus on the freaking loss more than the win, guys. Because again, you never know if you're gonna win. Always gonna say you're always gonna have a coulda, woulda, shoulda held, coulda, woulda, shoulda did this. But literally, if you just set a stop loss and just stick to that only, and only think about, again, rewire your brain to only think about the loss, I promise you'll be surprised that when you start winning, not only will your emotions go away because you only focus on and accepted the loss, but also when you start winning, you can just manage it. You can just let it go in favor. You can just watch it go in profits and just set stop losses at break even, move it up in profits, move it up to $50 gain, move it up to $100 gain. Currently, this trade is up only $30. But again, I have the power right now to speak to put it at break even. I can move my stop from 75 to only 50 loss. There's things you can do when it goes in favor, but you cannot control the win. You can only control how much you're going to lose. You cannot control the markets. You can only control how much you can lose if this trade fails. So right now the trade's going in favor as we speak, up now another 40, or up at 45. And I'm going to do my absolute best again, guys, to show you guys how we manage the trade. Because you guys just saw, I didn't think about, oh, I'm gonna shoot for. When I first entered trade, I didn't think about, and I didn't mention, oh, I'm going to try to gain $500 on the trade. Oh, I'm gonna try to hit funded on this trade. I literally entered the trade, set a stop for 75, and explained immediately why I set a stop. That's my mindset, and that's how you guys need to rewire your brain. All right, guys, so we're gonna take this trade on the road with us. We are currently just recording it as we speak.
So guys, we are back home, and I thought I'd actually just show you guys how that trade went. So this is how that trade went, guys. That last trade did a $70 gain, which isn't too crazy, to be very honest. We got in, let's see, entry time at 7:56 a.m., held it for only 27 minutes and exited about at 8:24 a.m. So you can see the duration there. The longest trade that I did hold was this one here for 4 hours, guys. Insane to this one even being 5 hours. That was the first trade that put us up pretty decent, and then that last trade paid decent. So guys, this is that trade that we did take on MES, and you guys can see. So I kind of do want to break it down very quickly, why I even entered, just to keep it very quick, short, and brief. So not only was I watching, and you guys saw earlier, the SP 500s or SPY, but very simply, market was breaking above this most previous level here, not only on the higher time frames, but even the 15 minutes, 5 minutes, every kind of time frame. So let's go down to the 15-minute time frame here. Let's see what it looks like. So as you guys can see, literally, very simply, all I trade is the break and retest, like I always keep trying to say. And let's even scope the entry. 699.950. Let's look where that is. 699.50 is all the way up here, guys. Oh, 699.50 is this support level, guys. Why did I enter here? What was the reasoning? What did I think? How did my brain process this entry? Guys, look, a long wick to the downside, retested this whole area to the left side being a bounce area. Coulda, woulda, shoulda been a better entry right here, but I decided, and you guys saw it in the earlier video, that I was watching the 5 minute time frame. I was debating, I was watching price, I saw it do a doji, and then it started to creep up. So guys, we entered, we sold it at 70.1350, which is right here. So you guys saw the entry being the bottom of this here area here, and then 70.1350 being up here. So guys, we did pretty good on that trade, but I just want to show you guys, this is how we're ending it. We are almost there to fund it, guys. Look at our accumulation get accumulated, or our net get accumulated. Guys, we freaking are killing it. We're on top of it. 4 trades down today. We have one more single day to go through, and I am pretty excited. So let me actually go ahead and take a screenshot of this, because I'm going to share it to the group and show them that, guys, we are almost there to the road of being funded. So let's do that now. But that's pretty much wraps up here for today. I hope you guys had an awesome ass day, guys, and these are our trades here. Again, we're trying our absolute best to keep it very minimal in trades, and also show you guys how it is, how even when you lose, it's very simple and easy to recover a loss a day. It's not that difficult. So anyways, guys, have a great day. Catch you guys on the next.